Hello, this is Frank Burleson for CoachGeorgeRaveling.com here at the third day of the NBA Players Association Top 100 Camp, 19th edition of the camp here at the University of Virginia's wonderful and expansive John Paul Jones Arena. I'd say the highlight so far, the first 2.5 days, is, of course, what proved to be a one-day appearance of the most publicized player in the class of 2013, Jabari Parker from Chicago Simeon, who played for a day and played 2 games on Thursday morning and afternoon and evening, and then has since departed to go home before he heads to USA Basketball in Colorado Springs for the 17 and under trials. But I'd say, other than the appearance of Parker, who certainly gave enough of a glimpse as to why many people consider him the best player in the country. Great all-around game. Didn't particularly shoot well, but impacted games on the defensive end and as a playmaker, and certainly as a high-energy character type of player. I'd say that, in my mind, the biggest noteworthy occurrence of the first 3 sets of games, so every team has played 3 games right now, would be the depth of the point guard position. Starting, I think, with Andrew Harrison from the Houston area, who came into the camp probably as the consensus #1 point guard in the class of 2013, and I'd say he's lived up with it so far, lived up to those accolades so far. Very strong, very athletic. Nobody can stay in front of him. He drives right, left equally well. The only thing he hasn't done particularly well so far in the camp is he hasn't jump shot the ball, but he's gotten everybody involved and really, really passionate and distributed. I'd say there's a really, really good number of 2014 juniors to be point guards, including Los Angeles' own from Loyola High, Parker Jackson Cartwright, one of the smallest players in the camp at about 5'8". He's listed 5'11", but I think that's been considerably generous. He's about 5'8", but he reminds me a whole lot of Tyus Edney, the former UCLA guard, and Long Beach Poly standout, who's now on the staff of Ben Hallen at UCLA. Very, very quick, very, very clever, but always under control. Really did a great job last night and this morning of getting the ball to open teammates and making good, solid decisions, and even scoring off a couple of high pick and rolls and a few short jumpers. So he's played very well. Quentin Snyder, a guard from Louisville, who's already committed to Louisville, another 214 point guard, has really, really played well. Also probably bigger than Parker at about 6'1" and a better shooter, but equally as good as a prospect. And then another Louisville kid who actually is playing in Montverde Academy in Florida, D'Angelo Russell, who's an exceptional player, left-handed, 6'3", can score, pass it, really, really exceptional passer. I thought he played very, very well last night. And again, when I saw him in the spring in an Adidas event in Vegas, he played a lot off the ball because he's on the same travel team, the Louisville Magic, with Quentin Snyder, but in this camp here, he's proven that he's, in fact, can play point guard if that's what you want out of him. I think another big story, and certainly, no pun intended, big story here has been the play of another Southern California, well, actually, product of Senegal by way of Huntington Beach, the Southern California beach community of Huntington Beach's small brother Christian High, but Mabanud Njai, about 6'7" and about 295 pounds, who did play for the double pump team this spring and played well, but mostly the only competition he's faced this past season was against players more, in some cases, a 1.5 feet shorter than him, but he's really held up very, very well. Scored well, had 6 dunks in his first game on Thursday afternoon, and again, not a great runner, needs some help on his lateral mobility, but it's still a little raw. But again, 7'5", just an immense human being and a great kid who's really made progress here. And I know people like John Lucas, who's head of the camp, and Tim McCormick, who runs it for the NBA Players Association, and Sharon Collins, former NBA player and Stanford standout from Harvard Westlake in Southern California. He's working here as one of the former players, NBA players, who are trying to get into coaching, and he's very, very high on him too. So it will be interesting to see now with recruiting beginning in earnest with the phone calls and texting that can go on now as a midnight Thursday, how much attention he gets from college coaches. And certainly he's going to be a guy who come July and all the camps and travel teams will get a lot of attention. So there you go. There's a quick rundown on the first day and a half's worth of games and 2.5 days worth of camp on what we've seen here at the NBA Players Association Top 100 camp. And we'll be back later and give you a more in-depth report with the final games due to wrap up Saturday night. So for CoachGeorgeRaveling.com, I'm Frank Burleson.